Look out, y'all. It's your boy Ash. I want to make a video. Hopefully, it won't go as long as usual. I got a tendency to be a little long-winded, but the Lomachenko Salido fight, um, I was right in terms of who won the fight, but I don't really care if I'm right or wrong. Who cares? The point I want to make in this particular video is that usually when things are too good to be true, they are too good to be true. There are no such things as a guy being this super powerhouse, destroying everything in his path, Superman. You know what I'm saying? Guys are who they are. Men. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's a machine. Nobody's invincible. They were hyping this kid, giving him accolades before he even deserved them. He hadn't done anything for it in the pro game. As an amateur, yeah, give him all the credit he deserves for, winning all those fights, being one of the best amateurs of all time. Or if not the best amateur of all time, but it's still a different game. And in the professional game, Lomachenko had not faced enough guys, number one, to warrant a title shot, and number two, for everybody to be on the bandwagon like you need a hero or something. I need a hero. Come on, man. Let that man earn it like everybody else. Let him go through the line of tough fighters and get the experience before he gets in there with somebody with that type of experience. I don't need to really highlight how many fighters Salido has faced or who he has faced. I think we already know who he has faced. But if you think you were going to sell me on the notion that this kid brings something to the table different from Robert Guerrero, Gamboa, damn Wama Lopez, one man with Marquez, and all those guys that Salido has faced, I just wasn't buying it. Speed, he's seen speed before. Gamboa's fast, crazy fast hands. And on top of that, rest in peace to my boy Omar Henry. But when he was alive, he told me when he sparred Gamboa, that Gamboa hit like he belonged at 154. So I know good and damn well that this kid, this featherweight, wasn't hitting on par with that guy, with Gamboa. At least not yet. Now, one thing that Lomachenko did prove is that he is a strong fighter, that he is well conditioned, and he can actually fight a little bit. You can see he was really uncomfortable with Salido's inside work. I think Salido had the perfect game plan of bring the fight to his chest, not allowing it to be a boxing match, but a rough and tough fight of getting really physical with him. And you can tell that Lomachenko was bothered by it, because every time Salido would close the distance on him and begin to do a lot of work on the inside, especially to the body and below, he would hold him. There was a lot of holding throughout the fight. Lomachenko seemed like he was gun shy. He wasn't letting his hands go nearly enough. Salido was letting his hands go. His whole focus was the body. He was trying to break the young kid down and drown him late. He ended up gassing himself out because he looked really tired going into the championship rounds. And for those saying that he didn't try to make the weight, he didn't try to make the weight on the day of the weigh-in. You don't have an 8-week training camp not trying to make the weight. That is a dumbass argument. And they say that on TV too. It's stupid. I'm not in no way trying to defend Salido for not making weight. It's a sign of unprofessionalism. Not unprofessionalism, but it's a sign of being unprofessional. You know the weight. You signed to make the weight. And you didn't hit that number. But I know over time it becomes difficult when you're trying to hit that number. It's like you're trying to drain water from a stone. And at the end of the day, there was a penalty for him not making the weight. He had to give up a certain percentage of his purse. Team Lomachenko accepted it. That's it. That's where the excuses stop. He agreed to have the fight continue, and he lost. And he lost the fight. Still and so, Lomachenko, I guess he tried the best he could, but he gained some valuable experience in this fight. For one, being 300, having 390 some odd wins in your amateur career, it doesn't equate to what you're gonna face in a professional prize fight. You fight in the featherweight division, and from what I've seen is you must not have faced enough Mexicans, because if you're gonna be dominant at this weight, you're gonna have to learn how to deal with inside work and pressure, because don't nobody put pressure like Mexicans put pressure on you. Don't nobody go to the body like Mexicans go to the body. And Mexicans got some hard fucking heads. So if you hitting them and they don't go nowhere, be calm. That's normal. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who's grown up around Mexicans and you grew up fighting each other or whatnot, and of course being friends or whatever, you gotta bring it. I mean, it's just factual. You know what I'm saying? It's just factual. These guys, they're just tough guys. That's just the way it is. And at the end of the day, Salido ended up winning the fight. I normally don't bet on a lot of sports, but I watched Dwyer's video. Shout out to Dwyer. And Dwyer said you can get 4-1 odds on it. And to me, once I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna pass up. I'm not gonna pass this up, because to me, if you've been around boxing for a length of time, you should have saw this one coming. To me, this wasn't a hard pick at all. This should have been it's like night and day. You should have saw this a mile away. I mean, how could you not recognize the hype machine behind a guy with only one fight at the pro? Come on, dudes. Really? To me, the scorecards were closer than what they should have been, to be honest, because Lomachenko, what was he doing? I mean, he didn't do anything. He wasn't letting his hands go at all. But Salido, I give him a lot of props. He had the right game plan, but I'm going to take credit away from him, because, man, that boy was going low over and over and over. Lawrence Cole didn't do himself any justice by not warning Salido. But you got to give props to Salido, too, for showing that he is a real veteran, going low on the referee's blind side, a la Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins made a career out of that shit. Maul your ass to death and foul the shit out of you to the point where the referee could not see it. And that wasn't always just going low. It could have been headbutts, elbows, hip shots, going low, just hitting you in your thigh, especially hitting you in your thigh. I mean, just anything that he could to try to get you out of your game. I mean, it's a mental process in that ring. It's not all physical. If I can get you out of your game and get you to fight out of character and get a big enough shot on you once you fight out of character, I'm probably going to knock you the fuck out. That's the program. That's the pro game. I mean, just the way that it is, you got to be cognizant of what you're going up against when you get in that professional ring. It's not a game up in there. It's not a bout. It's a fight, a professional prize fight. So at the end of the day, Lomachenko did show that he belonged in a professional, to be a high-ranking professional. He's shown a lot of those great attributes, not all of them, like everybody was hyping him to be. He's a better amateur than Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, and he's gonna do wonders. And just watch, he's just gonna dominate Salido. I mean, his pedigree is better than anyone else we ever seen. I mean, boy, they were really shoveling that horse shit. But at the end of the day, the ring is gonna sort out the facts, and the facts were that he was just not ready yet. Now, if this fight would have happened a couple of fights down the line where he got a little bit more experience, probably could have went a different way. He could have went a different direction. But at the end of the day, he lost this fight very cleanly to me. And I thought the biggest thing he could have done, as far as to get this fight back in his favor, is when he hurt Salido in round 11. Just put the pedal to the gas, man, and get this guy out of there. Let your hands go. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think the body work that Salido did, and of course going low, the thigh shots and shit like that, it had an effect. I think Lomachenko's probably gonna be pissing blood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are the rigors of being in a prize fight. When you get hit in the body so much, that it's a physical process, man. So it's a grueling process. A lot of guys, you sitting on your couch and you think, oh, he should be able to take that punch. Oh, this guy don't hit hard. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. You ain't been in there. You don't know what it feels like. And if you ever had a fight in your life, you know punches hurt. They do. And at that point in the fight, his adrenaline is still high. But once his body calmed down and he gets to relax and take a shower and cool out and stuff like that, that's when the swelling comes into play. That's where all the physical damage sets in on a fighter. And they go through the rigors behind that shit. I know guys who have been in fights who have had tough times dealing with the physical duration of a tough fight to where they can't even walk straight for a week. They're limping. Or their body, their body from taking all them body shots, they piss and blood for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? It's a real physical process up in there. These guys are not machines. They are men. They are men. Dudes die from this. You know what I'm saying? But I digress with that. Time for Salido to go ahead and go up in weight. You can't make featherweight no more. Some good challenges at 30. We coming off of 2 good wins, especially that since he had that defeat to Mikey. And he moves forward. As for Lomachenko, you can still market him. In my previous video, I didn't see how that could be done, how you can continue to market this kid once he lost, because he was going to lose unless he knocked him out. In my book, that's what was going to happen. And I guess they can market him on the notion that Salido didn't make weight. So he was up against it because there was a guy in there who wasn't on the same weight that he was in. And if you listen to Max Kellerman's interview, he was trying to bait him, trying to take that bait. Like, I'm trying to give you an alibi. Here, take the bait. Make an excuse to why the fight didn't go in your favor. And Lomachenko knew. He probably is a better fighter than Salido, but you don't have to be a better fighter to win the fight. You just got to be better that night. And Salido was better on that night, which was last night, and he won. That's the only way the fight was won, period. If you got issues with the ref, take it up with the ref. Don't take it up with Salido. If the only issue you should take up with Salido is not making a weight, but all that is null and void once Team Lomachenko decides to take that penalty money and proceed forward with the fight. That's it. You let that shit go. You can always hold it against Salido, but at the end of the day, the fight went on and the ring dictated who was better that night. And the dude that was better that night was Orlando Salido. Period. So, props to him. You move forward. Boom. Just adding in onto this, I had a couple of messages. Guys asking me how come I don't do predictions on like all the fights that happen. Every time there's a fight. To me, some fights are just no-brainers. And you got so many videos out there of people doing predictions, and they're all in line with who the favorite is. And most of the times when a guy is a favorite to win the fight, he probably will win the fight. You know what I'm saying? And I thought Chavez would beat Vera this time around because he was in much better shape. And I had a great feeling that Terrence Crawford was going to win. These guys were the favorites, Terrence Crawford has a much better array of boxing skills than Burns possessed. Even though I like Burns, I like him as a fighter. I like his strengths in the ring. But to me, it just wasn't necessary. I have nothing to prove, and to do predictions on all this stuff. I do the ones that interest me. Also, people ask me about the recent Muhammad Ali versus Floyd Mayweather debate and wanted me to make a video on that. The reason why I didn't do a video on that is because I wasn't even going to dignify that shit as a legit debate. There is no debate. You know what I'm saying? I think it's absolutely fucking ludicrous to even consider Mayweather in the same fucking breath as Muhammad Ali. And I know Mayweather has this legion of fucking fans who get mad as hell at your ass because you just don't agree. Well, get over it. You know what I'm saying? I will never agree with that. Never agree. Now, you got guys out there like Blood Boxing and 78 who have outlined in detail as to why Mayweather is not greater than Muhammad Ali, and he'll never be on that level. And I think those videos are so well done that I'm not even going to try to match it. Kudos to him. You know what I'm saying? to be considered among the best of all time ever, the TBE, you have to fight the very best fighters of your time. Muhammad Ali accomplished this several times over, and he beat the very best of his time. When he was thought up to not be the favorite in the fight, he won fights. You know, in comparing resumes, there is no way you can possibly compare the two fighters. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather haven't even fought his biggest rival to date. He haven't even fought his biggest rival in his own era. So how the hell can you even begin to compare him to Muhammad Ali based on him not having a loss? I can get him a loss if he wants me to pick his opponent for him to lose. I can get him a loss because you are the very best fighter in the world. I'll give Floyd Mayweather that. He is pound for pound the best. I'll give him that, but still and so, there is a difference from being pound for pound the best fighter in the world, which is a mythical list, than being the baddest man on the planet, which is 100% fact. Mayweather will never be considered the baddest man on the planet. Muhammad Ali was considered that. Once you're the baddest man on the planet, there is nobody that can beat you. There are no more weights to go up to prove yourself. That's the limit. The heavyweight division, the glamour division, where one shot ends it, where everybody over 200 pounds can knock somebody out. It ain't like that for Mayweather. Mayweather thinks he is the best fighter in the world, but if there are still challenges out there for him, if he wants more challenges to continue proving that he is the best of all time, you need to expand your list of opponents beyond Marcos Maidana and Amir Khan, because there are plenty of fucking challenges out there, fights that are doable, where he can actually begin to try to cement that claim as being the best ever. But when you shorten the list of opponents to just Marcos Maidana and Amir Khan, dog, don't even bother bringing that shit to me, dude. It ain't even worth me breaking a sweat over the shit. If Mayweather wants to find a challenge, take your ass up and wait. There's plenty of challenges at 54. That ain't good enough for you? Take your ass to 60. Plenty of challenges for you. You'll never be considered the baddest man on the planet, because there are other divisions you can go to, and there will be somebody that will whoop your ass. There will be a limit of how far you can go up and weight to where just your skill will save you in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Go up to 60. You the baddest man on the planet? Because Mayweather will never be that. And when you're the heavyweight champion of the world, the heavyweight champion, that is the title you have. You can't go no further up in weight. All that can happen at that point is that maybe there is a prospect that's gonna be on the cusp of becoming a world title contender who can probably give you a challenge, or one of the more skilled guys at the lower weights decides to come up and wait and face you. Other than that, you are the fucking man. That's the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way that it is. At that point, when you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you don't need no fucking pound for pound list. You're the man. You're the baddest man on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's just my own little 2 cents on it. I could delve further, but like I said, if you watch 78's video or you watch Blood's video where he went in, they really expound on the topic more. To me, I wasn't even going to bother chiming in on that shit, because to me, I think it's even foolish to even bother making that a debate. What really are we debating here? Now, if we're basing it on the amount of money accrued from the sport, Mayweather is the best of all time. Nobody, I don't believe anybody has made the type of money that Mayweather's making. Mayweather making more money than Tyson made on a fight-by-fight basis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the money that he's making it's just absurd. But I'm not hating that. Make your money. But that don't make you the best of all time. And I'm not even going to continue going into it, man. He may be the best fighter of this generation, of his era. He is the best fighter of this era. I can give him that. Some people think that's debatable, and it probably is debatable. But ain't no way in hell you're the greatest of all time. And I'm really getting sick of people saying that. Now, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe, and you can make videos till the cows come home on him being the greatest of all time in your opinion. But don't get mad at me because I'm not co-signing that bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your arguments, the people's arguments in trying to make that case, they're not even legit arguments. You know what I'm saying? There is literally no way you can make that case where I can be like, you know what, you got a point. And you talking to somebody that have supported Mayweather through thick and thin. I've been on this guy's side. I followed this dude's whole career. And what really pisses me off, because I'm still a Mayweather fan. I'll watch him fight. You know what I'm saying? I marvel at his skill level. You know what I'm saying? I'll give that up. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it that pisses me off with Mayweather is when he was a young fighter in this game, in this pro game, and he was coming up through the ranks before all the money Mayweather and all these rabid ass fans that he got now. You know what I'm saying? Delusional fans. Before all this, before the pay-per-view career took off, you know what I'm saying? When Mayweather would fight and he would get interviewed, even if he didn't fight, whenever he was interviewed, you will always hear Mayweather saying this line: I just want to fight the best they got out there. Mayweather used to say that all the time, and I was with him. Every time he said it, I'm like, hell yeah, Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I just want to fight the best they got out there. But ever since this Money Mayweather heel character has emerged, you don't hear him saying that shit, man. It's not in him. He's just trying to maximize his dollar figures. The same thing he told Margarito. We're making smart business decisions. That's not legacy building. You're not building on your legacy. You're making smart business decisions. And boxing as a sport and boxing as a business are two different things. Point blank, period. You made a whole lot of money, but if you really want to push that best ever, you got to start fighting the guys that can help you cement that claim. And to this date, you are fighting legit challenges. I'm not going to take that away. The guys that you fighting can fight. You know what I'm saying? You match those guys with anybody else in the divisions that you're campaigning, it's a legit fight, but it's not a legit fight when Mayweather fights him. I understand that. But if you're trying to push that best ever shit, there are much better fighters that you can be facing and fights that are doable outside of the fucking Cold War. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'm gonna sign off, man. It's your boy Ash, man. Deuce.